Miss, you could come in our slit, Marcia said, turning to look back at Pancake. No, I have to go. I have got to get what is left of this mindful food into the father fish's mouth, Pancake said, raising her handful of mush. Marcia shook her head. Well, okay. Good luck, miss. Then she and Norm entered their home, and their mother almost followed behind them, but stopped. Are you sure you won't stay with us? Lucille sighed. Annoyed, Pancake shook her head and almost fell as Patrick did another great leap. No, I can do this! After wrinkling her forehead in thought, Lucille smiled. Okay, go on then. With a wave of her hand, the woman followed her children into the frog's mouth slit. I can do this, Pancake whispered, turning to face the mouth's entrance, and just as she did so, the lips gaped open, displaying a snapshot of the frog's battle with the father fish outside. The sound and wind of storm rushed in, exploding into the room with wet air and boisterous noise. Thunderous crackles of lightning and striking booms of thunder chanted and clapped in looming, dooming song, with the splashing pitter-patter of rain droplets and the dashing skitter-scatter of the many warriors and fish. The wind howled in airy, hollow harmony of gushing gusts. The clouds shrouded out the sun's light with their billowing black bodies, and all the atmosphere shook with the sky's raining rage. The only bright side was the darkness. No sunlight to blister the candy people. I can do this, Pancake whispered, biting her lip as the outside sound muddled and dimmed with the closing of the frog's mouth. The girl rolled the glob of mindful food between her fingers. Could she do it? Do what? Jump out of the frog's mouth and somehow shoot an arrow into the father fish's mouth while a storm brewed? Never. She couldn't. Yet she told herself otherwise. Pancake, you can, the girl coached herself as Patrick jumped, shaking Pancake back to the ground. She stood back up, thinking of all she had to prove. Who is to say I am of no help in this battle? I am daughter of the greatest archer this land has known. Pancake paused, shaking in frustration and fuming cinnamon. Gertrude the valiant, Steve the grand, whatever! What am I? Her hand tightened into a fist around the mindful food, a blob almost squishing away from her grasp. Yes, she would jump from the frog's mouth and succeed. She would get the key. And with that, Pancake snatched her second-to-last arrow from her quiver and readied for her jump at the tip of Patrick's tongue. She didn't have to wait long. Letting all the storm's havoc back in, Patrick's mouth opened as he croaked in battle. Despite her mustered courage, the girl wasted a moment too much looking at the ground below and lost her balance. Tripping, she stumbled forward on a tongue lump, and to Pancake's dismay, her arrow slipped from her hand and plunged to the ground, snapping under the foot of the father fish and leaving the girl with only one arrow as she tumbled out of Patrick's mouth soon after. Pancake fell, time slurred, and the storm and battle screamed their fury. With a muddy splash, Pancake and the ground met each other once more, the girl rolling across the ground surface, protecting both her bow and the mindful food. Crunched carrot pieces mingled and muddled in mud clung to her hair and skin, while the sky's river of rain washed the pieces away, simultaneously splashing more upon her. The father's steps and Patrick's bounds shook the earth, the storm beat in the sky, and Pancake tried to stand. Ah, yes! This candy girl is feisty. Her flavor will be beyond belief. My fish must the father bellowed, only to be interrupted by Patrick slamming into him. You infernal frog! Leave us to our feast! The mother fish screamed, appearing from the crowds of battles and charging into Patrick, soon aided by her mate. In fullest aggression, the two fishes rolled the frog over onto his side. Go, retrieve the girl, for us! Yes, my love, for us, the father fish replied, making his way to Pancake. You, girl, are for us! The father fish's feet pounded the ground, and his mouth opened, readying to swallow the candy girl for the third time. Pancake stood, faced once more with the fish. Lightning lit up its nasty face, making its bulging eyes fierce and its scales brilliant. Mud erupted, and Pancake's confidence dissipated with each of its steps, and every second stretched into elastic hours. I can do it, the girl muttered, her lip quivering and a gumdrop forming. The ground shook. I can, the girl cried, snatching her last arrow from her quiver. The sky boomed. I will show my mother I can, the girl whispered, putting the mindful food on her arrow tip and knocking the bow. The rain pelted. The wind howled. Gertrude the valiant, Steve the grand, I will show them, the girl screamed, shaking violently in angry fear as she aimed. The ground shook, the sky boomed, the rain pelted, and the wind howled. The father fish approached. I will prove myself to them, Pancake bellowed, her fearful eyes closing tightly, but her angry hand not releasing the arrow. Suddenly her shivering stopped. At once Pancake's eyes opened. Her hand released the arrow, and her lips muttered the realization of her mind. What is their acceptance of me worth? The father fish's mouth closed around her once more, and the girl's arrow met its mark, plunging down into the fish's stomach.